welcome back to Putting Our Business in the Streets.
Here's another episode.
Does it matter?
I don't know.
No, it does not. If you wanted me to say that, then you should have said it.
I know.
She gonna ask me to lead and then be nitpicky about how I'm leading. But you're supposed to go first. I'm Demia.
I'm Demia, the mother.
I'm Imani, the daughter. And welcome. Yeah, we need to.
Hey, y'all.
Why are you starting? We're not starting over.
Oh, okay. I don't even know. That's crazy.
What?
That's all you're going to say?
I led.
Okay, now you're going to start this all over.
No, I'm not.
This is crazy.
I don't know what you want me to say. Is that not what the part you was talking about?
You're not just going to start the conversation?
I don't know what I'm doing. You normally do this, and you just put me on the spot just now.
Hey, y'all. How y'all doing? Welcome back to another episode of Putting Our Business in the Streets.
Starting over. What do you say after we introduce ourselves, though? I feel like then we should say...
So we said we were going to start every podcast now with a new segment.
Wait.
What?
You didn't answer my question.
You said, how do we usually start?
I said, what do you say after...
I'm going to say, Imani, on a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you today?
That's not what you normally say, though.
I don't say anything, really.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, is there something... Because I was about to then say, welcome back. Like, how do you end it? We just introduce ourselves and that's it? That seemed very abrupt. To just... You know? It's hot.
I'm sorry, y'all. I feel like this is a little unprofessional.
What? It don't have to be professional. She be trying to make things too perfect and structured.
Crazy.
Like, that's not how things are, because then it seems fake.
Right.
It has to be authentic.
So I'm just getting home from work. She had a day off. And
no, we're going to talk about it.
Okay. So that's do we not even need this?
No, because don't got to be a whole thing.
So I wanted to say that before we started any conversation on our podcast now, I'm going to pose the question. On a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you today?
Yeah, we told him that last time.
Right. So I'm asking you, Imani,
I
on
know,
a scale
no,
of
I
1
know, but I feel like I'm saying, like, what was something you said? Because you just came up with that last week.
Right.
So prior to those weeks, what were you saying?
It doesn't matter because I wanted to now say that.
It just seemed weird to just jump into that, though, didn't it? No?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
So Imani, on a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you today?
A 6.
Is the reason why you're a 6 is because of what happened to you yesterday?
Why are you talking at me like that?
I'm chewing.
No, it's not because you're chewing. Your tone is weird. Like, it's just being really weird right now. But yes, I'm at a 6 because...
Okay, before you go into yours, can I just answer mine? Because yours just might take longer. Or no? Does it not matter?
No, because you just asked me first.
You're right. On a scale of 1 to 10, you're a 6. Why are you
and
a 6
you still
today?
do matter. Just because mine is longer doesn't mean yours doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
I am a 6. This was all over the place. But I'm a 6 because this is embarrassing. I thought I was about to start a new job. And they played
I'm glad she can
me.
laugh because she was not laughing yesterday.
Oh my gosh, and they played because that is so that is so salty. Oh my gosh. I thought I was about to start a new job. And this job ended up being something, I can't say totally different, but it was not what I signed up for. But like they really got me. Like they lured me in and was about to make me start doing something that I did not want to do. Like yesterday was technically my first and only day. First and last day. Because I started Monday, but I had trainings. But I was only there for 2 hours on Monday, 2 hours on Tuesday, and I guess yesterday was my first full day. So I don't really count the first. I don't really count Monday and Tuesday. So I went for one day, and that was my last day. I should say what the company name is,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not. Ugh. So embarrassing. This is why I don't like telling people stuff
Mm-hmm.
right away.
Mm-hmm.
Because things happen.
Mm-hmm.
And now you then got to tell everybody now that it's not happening. When it's like, if I would have never told everybody in the first place, wouldn't have mattered. Next time, I'm not saying nothing until I'm in there for like 2 weeks.
But even though you hate that you told people, you've gotten much support from people.
Yeah.
And they have co-signed with the fact that, yeah, it was a crappy situation.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I don't want to necessarily say, I mean, they did kind of got you, but
They did.
you did find, that's just not the position you applied for.
Yes.
Because the position that they put you in is the position that's on their site, but it's not the ones that you applied for.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
But also, yeah.
So, it is kind of crappy that they pulled your application for a position that you didn't apply for, but you can kind of understand why they did it.
What do you mean?
And then even the 2 positions that you applied for, do you even see where they existed in the flow
They
of
don't.
everything?
That's what I was about to say. Like,
Oh,
no matter what position you applied for, they were going to make you do that.
start there.
Yes.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Because it's
I forget what
she used
you
the
called
term
it.
merit-based.
Merit-based. Mm-hmm.
It's a merit-based program, which means you'll start at one level, then you'll go to the next level, then the next level, then the next level, but like all within the span of like a couple months from each other.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what I signed up for. So it's like I do see where the marketing side was supposed to come in
Mm-hmm.
as you continue to move up the ladder, but it's like that was not what was on the job description at all.
Mm-hmm.
And if it was, like you asked me yesterday, what have I applied? No.
Right.
Like if I knew that, I wouldn't have even applied.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. I was so hyped
I'm excited.
and excited. The office was so nice.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't even see it talking about something.
Oh, the outside was nice.
Yeah, the outside of the building was nice.
Mm-hmm.
Then the lobby area was nice. They had a little, I think it was like a little coffee shop down there. Then upstairs, and their office was really, really nice.
My mom and I went by and stalked the place. Not stalked it. We just drove by it.
It was like very industrial, I think you call it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But even the building from the outside looked brand new compared to the rest of the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, stuff happens. It's a learning experience. And you chalk it up to experience. Or lesson learned. And then you move on.
Mm-hmm.
God's going to bless you. I was going to say he blessed you once, but I don't know if you consider that a blessing.
But
Everything's a blessing with the situation that happened.
it was weird.
It was weird, but a learning experience.
Yeah, it was.
But did you sit back and try to figure out why? Like the reasoning for it?
What?
Like why you went through the experience? Or sometimes you want to
Oh,
figure out the
like
lesson,
what was the lesson?
learned. Yeah.
I don't know yet.
Mm-hmm.
Because the first thing I said to myself yesterday was like, I know you're not supposed to question God, but I was just really like, why did you make me think that this was what I was supposed to be doing?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why did you let me get this job? Not necessarily like questioning his plan for me, but I want to know the answer.
Mm-hmm.
Because there is an answer.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know yet.
What's the lesson learned?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. I'm sorry, y'all. I came in the door hungry, so I had to eat dinner.
And the people were nice, but also weird at the same time. Like I was telling my friends, like, you ever meet people who don't seem real? Like it's like it's no way you're a real person. There's no way you're a human being. Like, you ever meet people like that?
I can't recall right now in this moment.
It's weird. It's weird.
And then the
It's
fact that you
weird.
literally sent out the text to the person saying, I won't be returning, and you have not
And I
heard back
have
from
yet
them.
to hear back. As soon as I came home yesterday, I texted the hiring manager from that job and my boss from my other job, making sure I could go back. And the hiring manager from this new job has yet to text me, and it has been almost 24 hours later.
Yeah,
so they know what they doing
Suspect.
up in there. Because at first I'm thinking she gonna say something back, but she might be like, I'm thinking if she does say anything back, she might have a little attitude. She didn't say nothing.
Nothing. Cricket. That's rude and disrespectful.
And I should have known, like, you do just look back on things, like the fact that I never got emails from them really. Like, even when she told me about the job, she texted it to me, and I was expecting like a
formal email.
An email. Yeah, like it just, I don't know. It's a little shady.
Even our new place sent you, even to go in as a sub, she sent you a whole email, right?
Yeah. Any professional place
right
is going to just send you an email. Like, even if it's not like the most popular or big business, I feel like just so you can seem legit and professional, you should send an email. And then once you're in there and get comfortable, okay, yeah, cool, we can text. Because that's even like my boss from the school. Like, I would email her all the time, but then as we got more comfortable, I was able to text her if I'm, because it doesn't have to be so formal all the time. Now, of course, if it was like needed, you would email, but you know what I mean. Yeah, anyway, that's why I'm a 6. Because I thought I was about to start a new job, and I'm not.
Lessons learned. A great story to tell your kids one day.
Yeah. It's just like that one thing happened, now this happened. Like, kind of happened back to back. Because last week I said I was a 6.
Oh.
Technically, it was 2 weeks ago because we didn't put it out the week we recorded it.
That's a technicality.
But still, last time we was on here, I said I was a 6. And now I'm a 6 again.
Okay.
That is crazy. Like, I just cannot believe that.
Y'all just don't get it. I'm so glad she's laughing today because last night
I wasn't really as mad as I thought I was.
You weren't mad. You were just like kind of like in a state of shock.
I really was. As soon as I left that building, I was just like, it's not even before I left that building. I mean, as soon as I left the building, before I left the building, as soon as my day started, as soon as we left that office to go do what we had to do, I was like, oh yeah, I'm not coming back.
Well, that was hours before you told me you wasn't coming back.
Yeah, I debated for
in the afternoon.
I debated for a long time if I was going to text you while I was there or if I was going to wait till I came home. But like, as the day went on, I was just like, I cannot believe I'm doing this. And I just had to text you, and then I texted my friends because that was ridiculous, and I just needed to escape.
Is that gonna pick up on the mic? The faster.
Yeah.
So, lesson learned for Imani this week, and it's all good.
Yep. Moving on. How is it? How are you or how happy?
Happy.
How happy are you today?
Well, it's funny today because I was thinking about this question, and I'm like, does that relate to like your energy level?
I think we should change it to just how are you instead of happy.
Okay. Well, that's just what I heard on this interview that I had heard somebody doing. So how am I on a scale of 1 to 10? Scale of 1 to 10 right now?
And I feel like right now doesn't necessarily have to be today. It could just be in the moment that you're in.
Oh, in general.
In general.
I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, I am actually, I guess I'm a 10. And that was my same number from last time. Because there's nothing wrong. I don't have anything. I'm just tired right now in this moment.
Yep, just got off break.
Because it was a long day. We just got off spring break. We went back. Today's Thursday. We went back to work 2 days ago.
That was Wednesday.
coming off of, I think I said 13 days or 10 days or whatever it was. So, getting into the nitty gritty of things, getting back into the flow of things, I guess I should say, and then getting up early, waking up to an alarm. Not that I slept late at all during my breaks, but I mean during the break. And then today was just a long day because I had to leave work and go to physical therapy. So
I can give an update. About
I can
your
give
arm.
that update. So the last time we recorded, the very next day, I was going to urgent care. So I was going to urgent care because I was having this pain.
This is a nasty combo.
The Pepsi and the
Pepsi and the
donut.
donut.
I can imagine.
No, I'm saying like, no, it's good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying like, to other people, that's probably a crazy combo.
Did I ever tell you, ever heard the show Laverne and Shirley?
Mm-hmm.
She drank Pepsi and milk mixed together.
I think I've heard about. I think people still do that like today,
Mm-hmm.
cause it adds like a. It tastes like a float. I think that's what people said. Yeah.
And I like Pepsi and I like milk, but I've never blended the two of them together.
We should try it.
Mm-hmm.
There's one more Pepsi in there.
No, you should add it to that list of crazy taste test things that we're supposed to do one day.
That was for my channel though.
Oh. So anyway, I'm in this air cast. I guess you can insert a picture because I took it off. And then, so basically I have a tennis elbow. So we'll combine it all. I went to urgent care that day. They gave me this air cast to wear to kind of protect the elbow. Then they gave me this topical cream that I have to apply several times a day. But last week while I was on spring break, the arm wasn't bothering me because I wasn't doing much. But I went ahead and scheduled, urgent care suggested that I go to physical therapy. So I went today for the first time. And Imani said, as soon as I came in the door, how was it? And I said, not worth my $50, which was my copay. But they gave me exercises to do. I have to lift some weights, like this. And then I have to do some hand exercises like this to kind of stretch the muscle. And we'll go back. I have to go back next week for an appointment. And then after that, they said they'll discharge me for home exercises. If they can see that, it has not gotten worse. So we'll see how it goes. I think it's just an occupational hazard of the type of work that I do. So it's all good. So again, vacation was good. Spring break was good. Relaxing. We went to go visit family in Maryland, my mother and I. That was a hoot and a half. And
yeah, I didn't because I was starting a new job on Monday.
Womp womp.
Whole time I could have been there
Oh yeah. Right.
because they didn't come back until Monday.
Mhm. Learning all our deep family secrets. You
And
could
I
have been
missed
there.
out.
And you missed out. That was good conversation. So, I'm good. And it's 85, 87 degrees outside.
It's hot.
It was 80 something yesterday, 80 something today. It'll be 80 something tomorrow. Then I think the temperature goes down a little bit because of rain or
I
something.
know.
But I'm okay with that. I don't like hot weather like this. I just need 60s, 70s, and I'm good. So, that's our catch up. Yeah. And on our last video, we said that the way we'll figure out the topics that we'll discuss on that particular day, we were just going to pull a paper out of a hat. So,
Unless it's something that we really want to talk about.
right. So, Monty, would you like to do the honors?
And first of all, it's not a hat.
Did I say hat?
Yes.
Oh.
It's a vase. If it's too deep, though, I am not in a mental space to talk about something deep. Just
Don't say
saying.
what it is, just put it out.
Okay, I'm going to leave it here. Yeah, basically, I'm tempted to sing, but oops, I picked up two. Okay.
You know what song it is?
It sounds
My mom
familiar.
used to sing it.
Uh,
This is some Chinese food. Oh, we can take that out because we used to do that all the time.
that paper went nowhere. Social media.
And what it means to us. Yeah.
I guess so. What it means to us, or just how it is?
How it plays a
Just
part
how
in
it
your
is.
life. Yeah.
I wanted to talk about this in the childhood video, but she wanted it to be a separate topic, which I see why. Because there's a lot that can go into it.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me.
Do you want me to take this off? Social media is what makes the world go around right now. You got Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, MySpace? No. Snapchat. I dated myself, didn't I?
Did you even have a MySpace?
I did not.
That was like once you were grown.
Mm-hmm. Is there something else I'm missing?
No. I mean, you have like Pinterest, LinkedIn, but they're not really up there.
Mm-hmm.
But they count as social media.
We are in.
Oh, and there's streaming services. Not streaming services. Streaming platforms now. Where people just go live all day.
Oh, really? Like a YouTube?
It's called Twitch.
Oh yeah,
Have you
I've heard
Twitch?
of that a little bit.
Like
Mm-hmm.
I would say that's a social media platform.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have it though, but
But-
streamers is now a form of like influencer. Like it's like influencer. Then you have YouTubers. I would put streamers in there. Like if influencer is the topic, and then there's subtopics.
So give me
It's
like
like
an influencer.
De'Ara that I always talk about.
Is
That I watch on
Instagram?
that I watch on YouTube.
Who was married, was with boyfriend,
She was
and then
engaged.
wasn't. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's a YouTuber though, so like that's like specific. Like she's an influencer, but like her specific title, I would say, is YouTuber. Because that's where she
everything does
started
on
off,
YouTube.
and she's a YouTuber. But now she has her own sunglasses line, so like she's branching out into more stuff. But she's known for being a YouTuber.
Okay. And then you said a streamer.
Streamers, yeah, are popular now.
And what's that?
They literally go on Twitch and just stream in their house all day.
Is that
Or
the
go
one you
out.
showed me where the guy went to the house for 24 hours?
He's funny.
Y'all, it was it's a lot of work for social media, and it's a shame because that is literally how we find out information.
Literally, that's how I be finding out everything.
And why do we get sucked into a rabbit hole of social media? Like, for instance, TikTok. I refused to go on TikTok because I always hear people like they were on it for like an hour. Just, swipe, 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 swipe. And I was like, I'm not getting on TikTok. I'm not going to do it because I'm not going to get trapped in this rabbit hole. And then my cousin was always sending me something on TikTok, and I'm just like, I'm not going to do it. But then I went off social media like September, October. I went off Facebook, I went off Instagram, I went off, that's it. That's the only two I had. And when I came back after like 2.5 months onto it, I was bored with Facebook. I was like, it's the same stories over and over again. And then I was on Instagram, but that just seemed like, what's the word I'm looking for?
Fake. Oh no, I was just guessing.
It could.
That's what most people say.
It could be because when I think about what people do on, it could be for Facebook or Instagram, because I know people who post all the time, but in my personal life. But I know, I guess, the fakeness that they do behind it. And I'm just like, but it's not authentic. So I guess it's not authentic to me, Instagram. Whereas I felt like I was like, okay, let me just see what this TikTok, because people were talking to me like at work. Like I remember when my assistant used to be like, oh, I found this idea. I saw it on TikTok, or I saw it. So it was resourceful. People were finding it more resourceful on TikTok. So that's when I was like, oh, okay, let me just go on it. So now I am on TikTok, and I remember the first time I went down the rabbit hole, and I was literally on it for like an hour and a half, and I text Mickey, and I was like, I just got trapped in the TikTok rabbit hole. And she was like, welcome to the club. And I was like, no, I don't want that to happen, because you can literally get stuck. And then it was like, when I first started, I was like, Monty, all I get are dance videos. Oh. Is it recording though?
Yeah.
Because wouldn't it be terrible if it stopped recording?
Yes, recording.
And then I was like, Monty, all I get is like dance videos. And she was like, then that's when you was like, stop liking them.
About algorithms.
So she had to and I was just like, oh my God. So now it's kind of, I don't do it every day anymore. I don't do it all day. I'm literally trying not to do it when I get into bed at night. But it's like, why? How did social media just become so big?
Well, some will say it's a distraction from what's really going on, if you want to go down that route. But we're just in a technological, is it technological or technologic?
Cool.
We're just in a technological world. Like, that's just the way the world is going. And everybody's just going to have to keep up. I personally don't feel like social media is, I used to think like, oh yeah, social media is bad, blah, blah, blah. But I like changed my mindset, and it really depends on who you follow. Like, if you are going on social media and you seeing a whole bunch of negativity, okay, that means you're following a whole bunch of negativity. So I'm following it.
In order for it to keep coming up.
Yeah, you're following it or you're liking it. Like, it doesn't just come from nowhere. But I think the most wholesome app is TikTok, because people are literally just going on there being funny, posting their everyday life, or doing little vlogs, or doing organizational videos. So I feel like TikTok, like, yes, you can get stuck and be scrolling for a while, but I feel like it's all fun. Whereas like Twitter,
I've never done Twitter. I have no desire to do
Twitter used to be what TikTok is for me now. Like, you used to go on Twitter and just be like when I'm on TikTok, I be cracking up at 2 o'clock in the morning in my bed, because people are just funny. And that's what Twitter used to be like. People just used to make fun tweets, funny tweets. Now everything, I feel like this is social media in general, besides TikTok, is a debate. Especially with the whole men versus women thing. Like, I am so tired of hearing y'all compare about what men should be doing versus what women should be doing. It's like, can we talk about something else, please?
Oh, but isn't it just the latest trend?
And I'm over it.
Just the latest topic. So it just has to play itself out.
Yes, but I feel like in Twitter's
Oh, you talking about Twitter?
No, that's overall. I was saying, I feel like Twitter is too political now, and everybody just wants to debate about something. Like, somebody can make a random tweet, and now they're blowing up because somebody wanted to have something to counteract it. And it's just annoying. Or like, it's literally legit political, like politics. And I'm like, I'm not on Twitter to be worried about that. Like, I just want to come on here and just laugh. Like, everything is so serious now. I don't want to say sensitive, because
you have to be politically correct about so much stuff now.
I can be sensitive. I mean, granted, there are some things that I be seeing, and I just be like, all right, like, y'all was doing too much. But I just think everything's so serious. And everything don't need to be so serious. That's why I go on TikTok, because they just be having fun over there. Yeah.
It's just amazing how everybody goes to this one thing. I'm sorry. Like, even when you see like a Jimmy Kimmel or a Jimmy Fallon, it's like, oh, I was on your Instagram and I saw how you did. Like, everybody goes to this thing. Everybody knows about Instagram, and if you don't have it,
you look at as like a weirdo,
or you just don't know anything. Like, can you imagine, like my mom, who doesn't have any of it,
but she knows because she watches the news.
She watches the news. She watches TV. Um, but you kind of realize, like, if you didn't have it, you probably think, like, oh my God. Because even when I wasn't on it, I did not miss it at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I didn't miss it. And I think it was only because you would come to me and be like, oh, Mom, look, so-and-so did this or so-and-so did that. When it came to, like, family members or things like that. But it's just, and it's time consuming. Because remember when I had my YouTube channel?
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it for a while, but then it was like, it's too much. The editing, you got to have the camera in your face all day. You got to just remember to actually do it. You got to be creative and all. It's too much.
It is a lot.
It's
it
even
can
too
be
much.
a lot. That's on the content creator side, though.
But
like, everybody's not going on social media to create content.
But then it's like you even have to still be on it, because let's just say for Facebook purposes, which you're on just because of work purposes or to get that. But let's just say for me, who does not post that often, but when I do, I'm not necessarily going to fall into people's algorithm because I'm not on there that often. You know what I mean?
But you're not looking for that anyway.
But let's just say with, like, for this, when I'm promoting this podcast, I'm not going to fall into people's algorithm because I don't post that often. So maybe now I will, because I'll be posting every week, like, watch this podcast. But it's funny how you can't necessarily fall off of it if you want to have people see what you're posting, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, if I only post every 6 months, everybody not gonna see that. Yeah, so it's just weird. It's just amazing how everyone is into social media. I mean, everybody in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Like, you have to have it. Like, that's where you find out your news. Like, you don't even turn on the TV. You don't have to turn on the TV because you actually find out more news.
I really do.
On your phone.
Like, me and my mom can sit here and talk about what's going on because she watched it on the news and I found out about it on social media.
And then y'all give each other pieces of information to make the complete story. It's crazy.
I think people made social media, quote unquote, bad. I don't think social media itself is bad.
Right.
Because that's just how I feel like a lot of people think that way.
Did I say that? I didn't say social media was bad, did I?
No.
Oh.
But I feel like it still has a negative connotation to it. Like, even if, like, a teenager is sitting there scrolling on TikTok and they uncle or auntie or grandma walk in, they gonna have something like, you always on your phone. What are you doing on your phone? And it's just like,
that's how we found our news. But
no, not even news. Like, kids don't go on social media to look for news. They're just on social media because it's what we do.
Right.
Like, I don't go on social media because I just want to know the news. Like, I'm on social media and then I happen to see the news.
Right.
Like, I'm not going on there trying to find out, like, oh, what happened. Like, that's the case. I'm just.
But it's like, instead of watching TV.
But no, I'm just saying that's just what we do. And I feel like people make it seem like it's a bad thing if a kid just wants to sit there and be on TikTok for a little bit or Instagram or whatever. Granted, now you need to limit that depending on the age or whatever. And, like, it can't make you lazy. But I don't get why it's, like, such a big problem that's what we're into. But then also, people be thinking, I never experienced life without technology. I have. That be the part that annoys me. And people think after the 90s was over, like, the world just changed like that. Like, Instagram, I've had an Instagram for a long time, but I barely used it, and it's not what it is now.
Because Instagram used to be just pictures, right? It wasn't
pictures,
videos.
No videos.
Could you put captions on it? Okay.
You could post pictures. You only post one. You couldn't do, like, multiple in one. You only post one at a time. They didn't have stories. Yeah, you just go in there and post, and people would just literally post a selfie.
It was just a newer Facebook.
Food. It was a newer Facebook because Facebook was originally meant for college students, right? When it was first made,
out, like,
but then y'all generation started taking over. So I think that's probably what pushed them to make Instagram. to probably like gear
Like
towards a younger audience. Because even today, like Facebook is looked at as like a older generation thing. Like that's y'all app, and we have Instagram. But yeah, and then they brought out video, but it was only 15 seconds. And then it just progressed and progressed and progressed and progressed. Crazy. So crazy.
Yeah, it's just amazing how it is just the norm of everything. And it's like how you can go on and find a job. Like, it amazes me how people are being discovered on social media.
And jobs will check your social media before they hire you.
Like when I'm watching something and you be like, oh, I know him. He's on his YouTube channel, or he has an influence, or he has that. Like, what show we? Oh, Swarm. Wasn't there a guy on that show the other day?
Swarm had everybody in that show. Like, it was, but it was like one of those things where they didn't tell you that they were going to be in there. Like, they didn't use them to promote the show. It's like, you're only going to know if they're in there if you watch the show. And I like when people do that. But yeah, how do you feel? Okay, this is another thing about like the term influencer. Like, a lot of people be having stuff to say about that.
But I think everybody can be an influencer, on or off camera. Yeah. It could be just in like the way you're at work. Oh, I like how you do such and such. I'm going to start doing that too. You influence that person.
But how do you feel or about how in terms of social media?
It is what it is.
Like, do you feel like people are actually influencing? Because that's the whole like thing. Like, people were like, what are y'all doing to be such an influence?
But it could be the tiniest thing. Like, sometimes when you're talking about people that you watch, you're like, you ordered something and you're like, oh, I saw so-and-so use this. They influenced you to buy that eyeliner pencil. Unless you're going to define the word influence.
I'm not buying it because they bought it. They just happen to use it and I think it's nice.
That's what I'm saying.
Like influence is like, I'm doing it because you did it.
Nope.
Like, you have an influence on me. Because people have influences on other people. But I don't know. I guess that's why it also has a negative connotation, because it gives like follower almost. Like, nobody wants to be labeled as a follower. Like, I did not buy something because she bought it. Anybody could have bought it. I like that product. So I'm saying I don't think it's necessarily.
But did you know about the product before that person mentioned it?
Maybe not, but if the next person mentioned it, I probably would have still bought it. Like, I didn't buy it because that person bought it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you could have had it, and I'm like, oh, that seems nice. Now I want it. Or, oh, I'm looking for an eyeliner pencil. That seems like it's a good one. Now, the person could have promoted it good, which made me want to buy it even more. But I don't think it's necessarily because of them, because that just makes it seem like I'm just following them. So I don't really.
Now I want to know the definition of influence.
Well, your phone is over there.
Okay, we'll go grab it. It should be charged by now. I'll get it because I need to get my check. So are you saying that you don't like the word influencer?
I mean, I get why people have a problem with it, because some people, I don't believe everybody should be labeled an influencer. But at the same time, like you said, anybody can be an influencer. But I just feel like some of y'all are tooting y'all own horns a little too much.
So then when do you call yourself an influencer? Well,
that's not for me to. I feel like you can't say that. I feel like that's like calling yourself humble, you know?
Put it in charge.
It's like, oh, I took it out. I took it out because remember my phone was charging, and I didn't realize to put it back. But all you're doing is looking up the definition.
Like, how did I plug it in all this time and it has gone nowhere?
Sorry. What was I saying? Oh, I said I feel like it's like when people constantly like say, "Oh, I'm so humble. I'm so humble," and it's like, well, if you was really that humble, do you gotta say it all the time? You know, it's like if somebody says,
you have a humbling experience.
Yeah, like I feel like if I was to ever get to that level, I don't think I would necessarily call myself an influencer. Like, I would call myself like a content creator before that. Because who am I to say? I don't know who I'm influencing. If you want to call me that, cool. But I don't think I would call myself that. It just seems a little weird.
Okay. So an influencer is a person.
Wait. No, we're looking at the definition of influence.
I thought we were saying what's an influencer.
No, we have to look up influence first because That's what we were talking about.
The capacity to have an effect on the character development or behavior of someone or something, or the effect itself. The influence of television violence. Verb, have an influence on. Sometimes simple changes in a business environment can influence behavior.
So I agree. I was just saying, me personally, I'm not just buying something because that person bought it. That's weird. I'm buying it because I genuinely like that product and am interested in that product. Because then that makes me feel like I'm just doing something because that person did it. And to me, that seems like a follower. Now, granted, it's not necessarily wrong if you did buy something because somebody else did. But I think after a while, that's a little weird. I hope I'm explaining this good.
So, you're saying like Swarm. Let's take Swarm because it's like a public show.
Mm-hmm.
If she had bought everything that, so let's say Naija.
She was influenced
by her
because if she had her own clothing line, she's not buying it. She could have thought those clothes were ugly, but was still going to buy it because it was her clothing line.
Okay.
Whereas me, you could be my favorite artist, favorite whatever. If your clothes ugly, I'm not buying it.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it's like, yes, I like you, but I'm not just going to do anything for you, buy something because you have it or it's yours, or listen to you, or like say all your music is good because you're my favorite artist. Like, no, you might have a bad song.
So an influencer would be someone who is creating something to change your life.
I think
or to add something to your life. That's what you're saying. You think it should be.
No, that's what it is.
But not everyone should have that title.
Should not have that title.
I got it now.
And I don't feel like everybody should self-appoint them that title.
I got you.
Like, who said you was actually... Now, granted, there's good influences and bad influences. But I'm just like, who said you was really influencing people?
Gotcha.
Like, who told you that?
Gotcha.
Not to sound like a hater, but yeah. I just feel like it's one of those terms that just gets thrown loosely.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So...
I got it.
Yeah.
So again, it really took me a minute to really grasp that, but now I fully
like,
got that.
I hope I'm not explaining this wrong.
Yeah, so it's like it all comes down again to the whole social media thing. But I had said something originally before. It's just crazy how social media has taken over the world, because if you sit like on a train,
everybody's on their phone.
Everybody's scrolling.
You see a couple people with a book, but
everybody,
just if
their phone is
the
in their hand, they are scrolling.
Well, no, that's not true, because a lot of them people, especially that's going downtown, they be having business to take care of.
They could be on their laptop.
So they could be on their laptop, or if they're on their phone, they're still just like responding to emails or whatever.
But like you said, going on the days where you just sit and just stare out the window.
Sometimes I will, but I'm listening to music.
I do, yeah.
I'm not just about to sit there in silence and stare out the window. I at least have music playing in my ears.
Right.
But yeah, I noticed that when I was on the train.
Mm-hmm.
The other day, I was just like, everybody's like really on their phones right now. But I don't think that's necessarily... It's pros and cons.
Mm-hmm.
It's pros and cons.
First of all, it's making the eyeglass people rich, because it definitely messes with your eyesight. And it's going to make doctors richer, because it's going to affect your
I'm probably going to have arthritis when I get older.
Because I do get it sometimes. I feel it in my fingers. So I try to like use different... And I just try not to do it. I just don't even do it as much anymore. I think I'm doing it more of it now, just going on social media, because I know things are happening in certain people's lives right now. So I kind of go on and look for updates. Whereas I could just call the people and ask them for an update. I don't have to necessarily go on social media to do it. Or, again, with this, creating stuff to put on, so I gotta put it on there, and just because then would you consider listening to a podcast social media? I'm thinking of social media as the actual posting of and looking at.
Because you can listen to it on YouTube, and YouTube is social media.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you're just listening to a podcast, no. Because Spotify and Apple Music aren't social media platforms; they're
music streaming. They're a streaming service. Yeah. But social media has literally taken over.
It has. It can be scary though.
But then also too, I noticed too, because remember it used to be people did it, or it used to be assumed that people did it for the likes.
Oh yeah, they did.
I don't think that many people are doing it anymore.
For validation.
I think it's just
no. People are still doing it for attention.
But then I think some people are even, that's their way to connect just to the outside world, especially since the pandemic. Like, I can go on to some people's page, and I can think of one right now. The most I see, like, she might have 3 or 4 likes a day at the time that I look at it. But she's still doing it. So that's why I feel like I don't think she's doing it for the likes. I think she's, like, doing it just to connect.
The attention and likes in social media, because she could just be doing it for attention for the people that she wants attention, like just from the people who follow. I mean, I don't know who you're talking about, but for the people who follow her.
The 3 or 4 people?
3 or 4 people are liking her stuff. That don't mean she only has 3 or 4 followers.
Oh, I see.
That don't mean only those 3 or 4 people saw it. They just didn't like it or interact with it. But I'm saying, like, I feel like you don't have to have a lot of followers to want attention.
But I don't even think it's a matter of them wanting attention. Like, this particular person, like, has just been in the house all the time. And I think it could just be another way of talking to somebody, even if you don't know who the somebody is.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
Yeah. But I mean, again, I don't know what you talk about, so I can't say if I think they're doing it for attention or not. But I was just saying, there for sure are still people on here who do that for likes and attention and views and followers.
Maybe it's the age bracket.
It's clout. Like, everybody wants to be famous. Everybody wants to be an influencer.
Famous, yeah. Maybe it's the age difference.
Yeah, like people your age.
This person's a little younger than I am.
Ain't trying to do that, but people my age.
Yeah.
And I don't blame them. If I could make money from social media, I would. Like, what? It's like, I would if I had the opportunity. So I don't blame people, but some people are doing it for, when you do it for the wrong reasons, it's not going to work out.
Right.
And if you're doing it because you want clout or you want money, fame, whatever your reasoning is, it's not, you may get it, but it's not going to work out in your favor. It's not. So, and it's not for everybody. Like, everybody does not have to be a famous Instagrammer, a famous YouTuber, whatever. Like, we still need doctors, we still need lawyers, like all of that.
Yes.
Everything. So.
Real life doctors, in-person doctors,
not y'all cheating behind nurses
the
that
ones
are trying to.
On
you
social
know about
media.
that?
No.
All them nurses just had to get all their license revoked because they got like fake licenses or something.
On social media?
No.
Oh. Just got fake licenses. Oh. They just got busted.
Because they're doing bad they're probably not paying attention in school.
Just not able to pass it.
Yeah, so
and that's disrespectful for those people who are actually doing the work.
And us. I don't want to die.
Oh, that's true. Don't be giving me no fake stuff.
Like what?
Right.
You don't even know what you're doing. You can't play people's lives like that in a field like that.
Right.
It's crazy.
That's true.
But yeah.
So yeah, tell us what you think about social media. Pros, cons, likes, dislikes, or what social media means to you in your life. And leave a comment below. So that's it. That was a good one. I think they're coming to fix the light. He responded. That's all we got.
Yep.
So thank you for joining us for another episode of Lord Jesus.
What?
That was a podcast I listened to earlier today.
Oh, I was wondering I'm like, is it because you just ate?
No. That is so bad. I need to go to bed.
I'm going to do it.
I'm going to take
Thanks for watching or listening to Putting Our Business in the Streets podcast. I don't know what she was talking about.
Oh my God.
We hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. If you're watching, make sure you follow us if you're listening.
And give us a topic idea that we can put.
Yeah, because we only have like probably 6 now because it was 8 and we took 2 out because the first one didn't count.
Right.
So, yeah. We'll see y'all next week.
Bye.
Bye.